Various events involving the Ministry of Defense and self-defense forces occurred worldwide during 2013. Let's take a look back at what happened this year. The SDF established initial response units including personnel, vehicles, and aircraft at each self-defense camp nationwide that are standing by to immediately protect the lives and properties of the Japanese people in the event of an emergency or in response to all types of natural disasters that may happen throughout the country. On the Disaster Drill Day, September 1st, 2013, the MOD gave the team the name Fast Force. The MOD and the SDF dispatched personnel for a disaster relief mission to Izu Oshima Island at the request of the governor of Tokyo on October 16th, in response to landslides that occurred in the wake of the devastating force of Typhoon number 26. The Izu Oshima Joint Task Force, JTF, was formed in order to more effectively execute disaster relief activities such as search and rescue operations. The JTF also helped prepare the island for the approach of Typhoon number 27 and took part in various recovery efforts. From July 1st through the 5th, the FY 2013 Joint Exercise for Rescue was held in Ichigaya GSDF Camp Asaka as well as in other participating locations. The purpose of this exercise was to carry out drills for a series of SDF joint operations in the event of the Nankai Trough megaquake. The exercise verified the effectiveness of the tentative plan for the SDF Nankai Trough megaquake response and maintained and enhanced the SDF's disaster response capabilities. The ASDF conducts 24-hour surveillance of Japan's territorial and adjacent airspace using 28 radar sites nationwide, E-2C early warnings, and E-767 early warning and control aircraft. If an aircraft suspected of violating Japan's territorial airspace is detected, fighters scramble to approach the aircraft to confirm the situation and monitor the aircraft as necessary. In the event that a territorial airspace violation does occur, the SDF conducts appropriate countermeasures, such as warning the aircraft to change the present course, etc. On February 7, 2013, two Su-27 Russian fighter aircraft intruded into Japanese territorial airspace near Rishiri Island in Hokkaido. In addition, two Russian Tu-95 bombers crossed into Japanese territorial airspace near Okinoshima Island in Fukuoka on August 22nd. On both occasions, ASDF fighters and other aircraft scrambled against the intruding aircraft. The number of scrambles conducted by the ASDF totaled 563 times during April through December of 2013, 214 times more than the previous year. In recent years, complications resulting from increasingly advanced cyber attacks to various information infrastructures are posing a new challenge for the stable use of cyberspace. In February 2013, the Cyber Policy Review Committee, chaired by the Parliamentary Senior Vice Minister of Defense, was established in order to comprehensively examine cyber-related issues and implement policies addressing current concerns. To prevent potential cyber attacks, the Command Control Communication Computer Systems Command, C4SC, is charged with operating and maintaining the SDF's Defense Information Infrastructure, DII, and Central Command System, CCS, and monitors SDF communications networks around the clock. In FY 2013, the MOD and the SDF established the Cyber Defense Group in order to more efficiently combat the threat of cyber attacks, which grow more complex and sophisticated with each passing day. Also, the MOD and the SDF are enhancing and strengthening operational infrastructure, including network monitoring projects and research on technologies which will allow us to create environments which can simulate a cyber attack. To foster relationships with our ally, the United States, a new Cyber Defense Policy Working Group, CDPWG, was launched under the instruction of Defense Minister Onodera and U.S. Secretary of Defense Hagel in October 2013. The MOD and the SDF will continue to promote cooperation and collaboration, including information sharing with the U.S. and other relevant nations. Japan's first ever National Security Strategy, NSS, was established in December 2013. Based on the NSS, the new National Defense Program Guidelines, NDPG, and Medium-Term Defense Program, MTDP, were approved at the cabinet meeting. While we have had 4 NDPGs, but the increasingly austere security environment surrounding Japan drove a need to establish a new NDPG in 2013. The new NDPG sets the standards for defense capability buildup, including the number of major equipment, such as destroyers and aircraft, for the next 10 years. Under the policy of the NDPG, the MTDP shows the main programs and its expenses for the next 5 years. Command post and field training exercises have alternated as the Japan-U.S. bilateral joint training exercise on a roughly annual basis since FY 1985. In addition, the GSDF, MSDF, and ASDF are not only conducting exercises within Japan, but also deploying units to the US in such exercises as Japan-US Joint Army Command Post Exercise, Anti-Submarine Special Training, and Fighter Combat Training. In October 2013, the GSDF and US Marine Corps conducted a joint field training exercise at Aibano Training Area, Shiga Prefecture, where MV-22 Ospreys, the USMC's newest transport aircraft station in Okinawa's Futenma Air Station, participated. These various bilateral training exercises in peacetime are vital to the strengthening of Japan-US joint response capabilities. They increase interoperability by facilitating mutual understanding in regard to tactical aspects, etc., and improving communication. Additionally, exercises conducted within the mainland using Ospreys help mitigate the current impact on the people of Okinawa. Security coordination between Japan and the United States have been conducted in various levels by defense and foreign affairs officials, to include the Japan-U.S. Security Consultative Committee, so-called 2+2, and the Japan-U.S. Security Subcommittee, SSC. On October 3, 2013, the 2+2 meeting convened in Tokyo. This was the first 2+2 meeting that the U.S. Secretaries of State and Defense and Japan's Ministers for Foreign Affairs and Defense both attended in Tokyo. Given the rapidly changing security environment in the Asia-Pacific region, the ministers reconfirmed their views toward the security environment and discussed several agendas such as revision of the guidelines for Japan-U.S. defense cooperation, cooperation in the fields of cyber and outer space, setting the future course of action in Japan-U.S. security defense cooperation, and the realignment of the United States forces in Japan, including a strong will to mitigate the impact on Okinawa. Based on the United States-Japan Roadmap for Realignment Implementation, agreed on by the US and Japanese governments in May 2006, the GSDF Central Readiness Force Headquarters completed its relocation from GSDF Camp Asaka to Camp Zama on March 26, 2013. It is becoming extremely difficult in this modern age for individual countries to tackle international security challenges independently, and it has become extremely important for Japan to work together with allies, friends, and other countries concerned in order to tackle regional and global security issues. As a major leader in the region, Japan proactively supports and contributes to the strengthening of security cooperation in the region by co-chairing in the EWG on military medicine and the ASEAN Defense Ministers Meeting Plus. In June 2013, Japan participated in the first ADMM Plus field training exercise in Brunei Darussalam, organized jointly by the EWG on humanitarian assistance and disaster relief and the EWG on military medicine. The second ADMM Plus meeting was held in August 2013. Japan believes that it is necessary to continue to endeavor for substantial improvements in the areas of cooperation and partnership between defense authorities within the region. To this end, Japan plays an active role in the ADMM Plus framework, directly contributing to the stability of the region. In recent years, the role of and cooperation between defense authorities have been deepening and widening in security fields such as humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, landmine and unexploded ordnance disposal, and military medicine. In particular, the international community have become aware of the importance of cooperation by providing capacity-building assistance aimed at improving the capabilities of the stakeholder countries in these fields. To this end, the MOD have engaged in capacity-building assistance since FY 2012 in order to improve the international security environment. The GSDF officers, defense officials, and members from the private sector were dispatched to Timor-Leste, where they executed a human resource development program centered on technique for vehicle maintenance in order to improve the Timor-Leste Army's abilities in the field of humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. From January to March 2013, the GSDF officials, defense officials, and members from the private sector were also dispatched to Cambodia, where they gave lectures on basic and necessary knowledge for road constructions, as well as SDF peacekeeping operations in order to improve the Cambodian Army's abilities. The IISS Asia Security Summit, an initiative of the International Institute for Strategic Studies, IISS, is an international conference held each year in Singapore. The conference is attended by many participants, including defense ministers from throughout the Asia-Pacific region, with discussions focusing on regional issues in defense cooperation. Minister of Defense Onodera attended the 12th conference held in June 2013 and made a speech titled Defending National Interests, Preventing Conflict, and participated in various discussions concerning regional situations and defense cooperation at bilateral and trilateral defense ministerial meetings. From May 7th to the 10th, 2013, the MOD and the SDF participated in the 3rd ARF Disaster Relief Field Exercise. The officers from Joint Staff, GSDF and ASDF officers, and defense officials, along with medical units and transport aircraft KC-767, were deployed to Thailand to conduct a medical operations exercise. It is important to participate in and host these types of multilateral training exercises, not only in order to raise the skill level of the SDF, but also to create a cooperative platform through the various coordination and exchanges of views of the countries involved. The MOD and the SDF will continue to actively pursue such training opportunities. The SDF participated in the US-hosted Pacific Partnership 2013, where activities were conducted in Tonga, June 12th through the 22nd, and Papua New Guinea, June 25th through July 6th. These actions contributed to the peace and stability of the region in a proactive manner, while providing Japan forces an opportunity for visiting some of its neighboring countries in the Asian Pacific region. The MSDF destroyer Yamagiri and the ASDF KC-767 air refueling transport aircraft conducted medical care and cultural exchanges with local residents in cooperation with civilian organizations, including NGOs. In order to ensure the safety and prosperity of Japan, it is important to utilize the Japan-U.S. alliance as an axis, while continuing to develop networks that combine bilateral and multilateral dialogues, exchanges, and cooperation frameworks in a complementary and multi-layered manner. Defense Minister Onodera and Australian Defense Minister Smith exchanged views on Japan-Australia defense cooperation during talks in June of 2013. In these talks, they welcomed the progress of a wide range of practical cooperation, including the United Nations mission in the Republic of South Sudan, UNMISS, in addition to high-level and administrative-level consultations, agreeing to advance defense cooperation and exchanges at various levels in the future. With the addition of U.S. Defense Secretary Hagel, the Japan-U.S.-Australia Defense Ministers meeting was held and a joint statement was issued. They agreed to establish a strategic goals resolution for trilateral cooperation, which included promoting the peaceful settlements of disputes in accordance with international laws and ensuring maritime security in the regions, as well as strengthening the regional ability to execute humanitarian assistance and disaster relief (HADR) missions. Regarding Japan-ROK exchanges, on November 13th, Administrative Vice Minister of Defense Nishi attended the Seoul Defense Dialogue organized by the Ministry of National Defense of the Republic of Korea, ROK, and also took part in the first Japan-ROK Defense Vice Ministerial meeting in 2 years. During the meeting, the two vice defense ministers talked about Japan-ROK defense cooperation and exchanges, as well as the situation in North Korea. There was also an explanation on Japan's initiatives to ensure national security, including the revision of its National Defense Program guidelines. The Japan-U.S.-ROK Defense Ministers meeting was also held in June, and a trilateral joint statement was issued. In the meeting, the three ministers shared a mutual awareness of the regional security situations, including North Korea, and agreed to continue promoting close trilateral cooperation. During Indian Prime Minister Sin's visit to Japan in May 2013, Japan and India welcomed expanding defense relations between the two countries based on the joint declaration on security cooperation between Japan and India. They also signed a joint statement including the decision to conduct bilateral exercises between the MSDF and the Indian Navy on a regular basis with increased frequency, and to establish a joint working group regarding the cooperation on US-2 amphibious aircraft. In December 2013, the second Japan-India maritime bilateral training was held in India off the coast of Chennai, and the first US-2 joint working group was held in Delhi. The decisions made during the previous Japan-India summit meeting were realized. The Japan-Russia Foreign and Defense Ministers meeting, 2+2, in Tokyo was held for the first time in November 2013. At the meeting, the four ministers had candid discussions on the international security situation, Japan-Russia national security, and defense policy. They reconfirmed similar views with regard to the importance of cooperation in the fields of national security and defense. As a result of the 2+2 agreement, the first ever Japan-Russia bilateral anti-piracy and terrorism drill was conducted as a part of the Japan-Russia bilateral search and rescue drill in Maizuru and North Wakasawan Bay in December 2013. Southeast Asian countries and Japan have long been traditional partners. Promoting trust and cooperative relations with regards to various security challenges with these countries is extremely important. At the 12th Shangri-La Dialogue held in June and ADMM Plus in August 2013, Minister of Defense Onodera held talks with defense leaders from various Southeast Asian countries. Minister Onodera visited the Philippines in June and December, and Vietnam and Thailand in September. In December, a memorandum on defense cooperation and exchanges was signed between Japan and Cambodia. Japan is committed to the further promotion and cooperation of Southeast Asian nations. At present, 2 MSDF destroyers and 2 P-3C patrol aircraft are deployed in anti-piracy operations off the coast of Somalia and in the Gulf of Aden. The deployed vessels and aircraft execute protection as well as warning and surveillance operations for civilian ships. Since December 2013, the Maritime Force has been participating in a multinational task force, CTF-151, where they cooperate with other countries in anti-piracy operations. As of December 31, 2013, the number of escorted vessels have totaled 3,189, signifying the substantial SDF contributions to the safe passage of ships in the area and recording 0 piracy incidents to date during SDF escort activities. Additionally, P-3C patrol aircraft activities numbered 1,032 flights through December 31, 2013, with an estimated flight time totaling 7,980 hours. In 2013, 2 of the United Nations peacekeeping operations of Japan have ended. The mandate of UNDOF is to monitor the ceasefire in the Golan Heights and the status of the ceasefire agreement. Between February 1996 and January 2013, Japan deployed a total of about 1,500 SDF personnel. This period of almost 17 years marked the longest ever participation by Japan in a single peacekeeping operation. The SDF activities with UNDOF came to an end with the return of personnel to Japan in January 2013. As major earthquakes struck Haiti in January 2010, Japan joined the United Nations Stabilization Mission in Haiti, MINUSTA, to support recovery, reconstruction, and stabilization efforts through removing rubble and repairing roads. In July 2012, the government of Japan made a decision to start preparations for withdrawal, concluding that the SDF had made sufficient contributions over the past 2.5 years to the recovery of Haiti. Completing its withdrawal in February 2013, the SDF's activities in MINUSTA came to an end. The MOD and the SDF is currently participating in the United Nations mission in the Republic of South Sudan, UNMISS, PKO operation. In response to the independence of South Sudan, the UNMISS was established on July 9, 2011. Three staff officers were initially deployed in November 2011, and since January 2012, an engineer unit consisting of up to 400 personnel have been deployed on a rotation of 5 times. Japan contributes to the nation building of South Sudan by providing personnel-based cooperation in infrastructure development, activity which is highly anticipated by the United Nations. On May 28, 2013, Japan has expanded its activity areas from the areas in and around Juba that also encompass central, eastern, and western Equatoria. However, due to the deteriorating situation on site since December 2013, deployed units have been constructing IDP, internally displaced people, camps, providing medical assistance and supplying water to local people taking refuge in UN facilities in Juba. Accordingly, the expansion of activities to eastern and western Equatoria have been temporarily suspended, but the MOD and the SDF plans to resume its activities after the situation stabilizes, focusing on overall safety and security. The MOD and the SDF will continue its support in various ways to contribute to the nation building of South Sudan. On November 8, 2013, the massive typhoon number 30 hit the Philippines and left extensive damage to the nation. At the request of the government of the Philippines, the MOD and the SDF decided to conduct international disaster relief activities on November 12th and successfully sent personnel to the site. The SDF provided medical services on the northern part of the Cebu Island and Leyte Island while transporting relief goods and afflicted people. These activities were conducted organizing the Joint Task Force for the first time, consisting of approximately 1,180 personnel. It was the largest deployment ever for the Japanese government. Given the restoration situation of the affected areas, an operation order to end the international disaster relief activities was issued on December 13th. Deployed personnel gradually withdrew from the Philippines. Many local Filipinos expressed their gratitude for the efforts made by the SDF. In September 2013, members of the House of Representatives, Parliamentary Senior Vice Minister of Defense Ryota Takeda, Vice Minister of Defense Kenji Wakamiya, and Vice Minister of Defense Minoru Kihara were assigned to their duties. Together with Minister of Defense Itsunori Onodera, they had a busy and productive year. The MOD and the SDF were engaged in the development of new equipment and technologies. MSDF's fixed-wing patrol aircraft, the 4-turbofan engine P-1, was introduced into the inventory as the successor of the P-3C. The first two were delivered to MSDF Atsugi Air Base on March 29, 2013. The MSDF's new destroyer, Izumo, at a length of 248 meters and standard displacement of 19,500 tons, is the largest helicopter carrier vessel in the MSDF fleet. Construction was started at the Japan Marine United Corp Isogo plant on January 27, 2012, and celebrated its launching ceremony on August 6, 2013. Izumo will be commissioned into active service around March 2015. The Maneuver Combat Vehicle, MCV, was showed to the public in October 2013, which is now being developed at the Technical Research and Development Institute. The MCV is extremely mobile with the supporting firepower to deal with various situations. It is scheduled for the SDF employment in FY 2016. On August 25, 2013, the Fuji Firepower Review was conducted in the East Fuji Maneuver Area. Despite the foggy weather, the audience was treated to an exciting and impressive display, including a slalom formation of Type 10 tanks. The FY 2013 Troop Review, one of the traditional ceremonies to celebrate the anniversary of the SDF, which takes place once every 3 years, was held on October 27, 2013 at the GSDF Asaka Exercise Area. The annual SDF Marching Festival was held for 2 days at Nihon Budokan on November 15th and 16th, 2013. This year's theme was Power for Peace, for the creation of peace. This year, guest bands from the U.S. Army, Marine Corps Japan, and the Royal Thai Army performed together with GSDF, MSDF, and ASDF bands. The disciplined and dynamic performances, coupled with various images of the SDF set to harmonious melodies, received a large round of applause. As the situation within and surrounding our country continuously changes, the MOD and the SDF remain determined to conduct a variety of operations worldwide in order to maintain national security and contribute to the world peace.